6:43, I call this meeting of the General Government and Public Safety Committee to order. I know attendance has been taken. Any comments from citizens? Hearing none, moving on to Public Safety, Police Department activity reports in your packet. Bob, is there anything that you want to point out?
No, other than the fact is the last 3 weeks we've taken down the average about 45 reports a week, so that time we had that was slow for COVID is quickly making itself up.
Katie barred the door.
So, but it's been kind of great.
Okay. Well, under other, the Chief of Police monthly report that's in your packet as well. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, moving on to changes to speed limits. There is a sample ordinance in your packet.
There was discussion at a prior meeting to just change all of the speed limits. And after looking at the ordinance, I kind of felt that it needed some more discussion because our ordinance is not, there are certain places that it makes sense that we would have a higher speed than 25 in town. And so, these would be the proposed changes, and then I know Alderman Stevens said he emailed me about Lakeview from Adams, and that's another point that it comes off of 124. So we're saying that the speed limit's a little bit higher on Jefferson Street when you come off of Route Z, so that might make sense to have that, keep that 30 coming off of 124 instead of dropping it down too. So I just wanted to bring that up for discussion, see what you all thought about that.
I think it makes sense. Rough point.
From the highway to Adams Street.
124 on Lakeview.
From the new section they pay from that there to highway base to that other
I'm just
section.
trying to remember where Adams Street is.
That's that.
It's right there by the water tower, like right before the park and the rec.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Right
cool.
across from Bicentennial.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That makes
So it'll
sense. Yeah,
stop
once
before you
hit
get to the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then once you get to the school, you're going 20 anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard enough just to do 30 after you're coming off the highway. I don't want to drop it down to 25, I live there.
Is that the only change from our discussion last time? Or the only, because you had mentioned, last time in our last meeting, you had several that you had thought about we needed to keep.
That was the only change that anybody had brought to my attention, so I just wanted to bring it up for more discussion. If anyone else had any ideas or.
Any other questions, comments? Moving on to Fire Department. Activity reports in your packet. Denny, is there something you want to point out?
No, we're just cruising right along.
Any questions or comments for the Fire Department? Any other? Emergency management. Do you have anything, Heather?
I did receive an email, and I did not have a chance to print it all out for you, but there is a draft Boone County Emergency Management Mitigation Plan online at the Midmo RPC website, and I'll email you all the links so we can, but it's out there for public review, but that's a plan that's been in the works for a while now.
Anything for protective inspection? Nope. Moving on to general government, economic development. Did the chamber even have a meeting?
Not yet.
No.
Park board, I see that agenda and notes are in the packet.
Park Board's been talking a lot about their reopening plan for the Kids Club program. So they put some protocol into place. They're gonna have to limit the number of kids that go to the rec center after school. They have partnered with the school district, so they are gonna be able to keep some kids and use the CIS gym as an overflow. which will be helpful. They'll be able to take them outside. But I think when I talked to Earl today, he said that they had 90 kids signed up so far, and that's about max of what they can take. So still working on a few last minute things, just some paperwork type things, but so far they have a really good plan for how they're going to work out the kids club program and still be able to have it, which is a good thing for the kids.
Great.
He did say that they are not going to, in the past it's been 3rd through 8th grade, and this year it's going to be 3rd through 6th grade, 7th and 8th. They're not going to be allowed to participate in kids club.
Moving on to cemetery report.
Printed out this little spreadsheet for you. You'll see that Wayland's hasn't had a increase in their opening and closing rates since 2013. So by bringing us up to these proposed rates, that would be the same rate that he is charging everyone else. So we have been behind, sort of, for 7 years. So he's just like to get everyone up to the same pricing and make it fair for all who need him. So I like to, as you can see, back in 2013, his rate for full service was $425, and the board at that time voted to increase all of those rates by $50. So just for an admin fee. So
it covers just the administrative costs of Phyllis. A lot of times she does a lot of work on the on her side to find the burial spots. She has to go out there and mark them. She and Sandy actually go and mark together, as well as sometimes coming up with the paperwork and then making sure that all the paperwork is correct and ready for Wayland's whenever he gets there to open. So $50 seems reasonable still.
So that'll go, that'll be added to the proposed rates, so it'll be 600 to 650.
yes.
That's what we charge for our, to get back
Right. Yeah.
our cost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he knows that we're adding $50 to that, so he's, you know, we're not out to make money on this. But,
And over 7 years, that's a reasonable increase.
yeah.
We've done pretty, I mean, equipment and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's very knowledgeable with our cemetery, and I go to him a lot for advice, and so I really would hate to lose him. He's very, very valuable.
So does this take an ordinance or an action by us?
I believe it would take probably a policy resolution, but to be honest, I haven't been able to find one since from 2013 yet. We've looked at several, we looked at the meeting minutes, we've discussed it, but it might just be a motion to accept the new rates.
Okay.
Okay.
But we'll make sure.
So we'll take care of it at the next
Next
meeting.
month.
We will, yes.
Yeah, and then just keep in mind if we want to add that $50 on for the
I
admin.
would say that's what we should have.
Right.
But we want to add that to it. We don't need that cost.
So, and also too, you'll notice that he's now charging a Saturday and a Sunday additional charge. And so, of course, we'll pass that on too. Seems like there are a fair amount of weekend burials. They kind of go in spurts, but that's something new for us too. Thank you.
Nothing for tree board? Library board, there are meeting minutes in your packet. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, moving on to bills over $1,250. Obviously, the Christian construction, the asphalt is a major one of those.
Oh, I saw that. $600,000 number, like, whoa.
Kind of leaps out at you then.
Yeah.
And then we got the 135 to Bartlett West, so those are two differences. This is over 400,000 right there.
Any questions or comments? Any other general government? Other, notice of public hearing for tax rates for 2020.
I included that in, the memo, so the second page of your packet. Just to let you know what, the calculations that we received from Boone County, they did not show a change in our tax rates for personal property or real estate for this year. So looking back at the budget, it looked like I had only figured in a 0.5% decrease for personal property and real estate taxes. So these figures, after the assessed valuations came in from the state, we are looking at being $16,270 under budget in the general fund, less than what we budgeted. So yeah, that information is there.
Any thoughts on mitigating that?
Not really. The cuts that we've taken, the things that we've held back so far will cover that. We've held off on capital projects, we're still holding off on capital projects in the general fund. I think we will be okay, end result will be okay, but, just wasn't expecting that much, difference. And then a potential 13% on top of that.
And then local sales tax has been running over.
Yes.
That we've been,
For
because
sure.
everybody's been here, so
Right.
we're making some of that up a little bit as we go along each month.
Right.
But as the folks are
And some of the capital projects are putting off, will
Yes.
stay put off until we get into a new budget.
They will, they may,
Yep.
yeah.
We talked about not doing anything till the fourth quarter, you know, to make sure where we were running. I think the truth will be seen come November, December, especially November. I think that as the state, the federal government, that the county as it runs down, we'll start to get a real clear picture of what the next year probably gonna look like, probably in 2010. So we'll see. We just have to do what we gotta do.
Right. Exactly.
Any as may arise.
Move, we adjourn?
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, we stand adjourned.
Wow, that was